Okay, everybody, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Aaron Utley. I'm at Dream Wizards in Rockville, Maryland for the 100-point Toys for Tots benefit tournament. We're in round 4. It's our final round today. Our top 2 players are John Sargent, who we just saw in round 3, and he'll be playing Kris Soehnlin in his double decimators. So I'll be getting the list information in here for you.
It's M240 guy, right?
No, it's changed. It's Steel Enterprises, all one word.
Oh, okay. Steel Enterprises like 2 E's back to back.
STELE Enterprises. Your Deci's pilot skills are what?
6 and
Cheer News 8. 8 and 4. Thanks.
I'll be back.
So Kris is running a dual decimator list with Admiral Chirnu, Isanasard, Rebel Captive, and Determination, and then Captain Oiken with Mara Jade and Tactical Jammer, which is a huge pain in the ass if you've not played against a ship with Tactical Jammer. Didn't have to enter anything new on John's. So he's still with us from round 3. Okay, so real quick, because these 2 ships of Kris's have a lot going on, so I want to run down what we're looking at. So, Rear Admiral Chirnu, when you're attacking at range 1 and 2, you can change one of your eyeballs to a crit automatically. So that's his inherent ability. He's of course got Rebel Captive. It's going to stress the first enemy ship that targets him. Isanasard, everyone's pretty familiar with. If you have no shields and 1 damage card, you get a free evade action. And Determination cancels out the any pilot crits that you might get dealt during the game. Captain Oiken deals 1 damage for any ship he's touching after executing a maneuver. So if he forces the bumps, it's a ram and imparts damage. Tac Jammer obstructs damage, so his ship is an obstacle. And Mara Jade, you don't see a whole lot. At the end of combat, each enemy ship at range 1 that doesn't have stress gets 1 stress. So a lot of different things going on there. And we haven't started time just yet. but the guys have already set up. A little bit towards the edge of the screen. John's Razzi is up at the top right there, and his 3 Marauders are in a little formation. The one you can't see is offset to the right there in between the other 2. He Shirinu is the ship, the decimator that's pointed up towards the top of the screen, and the one that you can just see the end sticking out, that's Captain Oiken. Who has initiative? Okay. Kris has initiative. Won't really come into play much. Unless they both pull crits that drop their pilot skill to 0, that won't really influence combat much. It looks like there are only 5 of you with us, so if somebody wants to go ahead and send out post a link to this game, we should have a pretty good game here going in a few minutes. Get a few more people to join us online here. Feel free to do that. Okay, time's just started, and just a reminder, our format today, it's 100 point standard tournament rules. We have 75-minute rounds, so we are just running 4 rounds of straight Swiss, and the winner of this game will be the winner of the event. But we got an hour and 15 minutes to resolve this. So John's Marauders are going to go first. Looks like he's going to move them out pretty aggressively. Looks like one of his Marauders has some toilet paper on its shoe or something. I think he has a loose peg. So they all push forward and focus. And Captain Oiken, 4 straight. Going to want to get around into the mix. I'm sure he's eager to get Oiken in there banging around with those Marauders and get them all stressed. Here comes Razzi. And as a reminder, Razzi is a pilot you don't see a whole lot just yet. Sort of an unusual ability. Razzi with Weapon Engineer allow him to take 2 target locks as his action, and during combat he can spend a target lock on an enemy ship that one of his allied ships is targeting to reduce the target ship's agility by 1 for that attack. So it's kind of an interesting ability. Nice. Dengar is apparently flying the Marauder and cut his face shaving, and that's just toilet paper hanging out the ship. Oh, looks like we're going to exchange a little fire here in the opening round. Got a ranged 3-shot into that nearest Marauder. He's going to focus it, so we've got 3 hits. And 1 gets through, so he loses the 1 shield on that lead Marauder, who's now going to fire back at range 3 into the decimator. And 1 hit, 1 evade, so nothing back. On to next turn. Wickens already chosen his move. And John has apparently been advised that he requires a manicure, and he has asked me to let his girlfriend know that that's not nice. I think he has lovely hands. Smooth as a baby's bottom. I need to turn the mic on at the table so that we can hear Kris's foul banter. There are children present. Kris has already selected his maneuvers and now he's playing with his phone. All right, everybody's dials are down, so let's see the Marauder. What are the Marauders going to do here? Yeah, and this Toys for Tots tournament is the first of 3 we're running in the local area here. We have this one today, and we also have a Toys for Tots tournament up at Games and Stuff. And get that out of there. Yeah, it's enough. Come on. It's ridiculous. He's already put his dials down. We have another 100-point standard tournament, Toys for Tots benefit up at Games and Stuff in Glen Burnie, Maryland next week on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll be running a third Toys for Tots event at Huzzah Hobbies in Ashburn. That's going to be a team epic event. So if you're not planning on coming, please check those out in the events tab on the Nova Squadron page on Facebook and sign up and come out and support that great charity. So Boykin is going to go to ramming speed and smack into the lead Marauder there. Old school. Kris just referenced the old Val Kilmer movie Top Secret. That is taking it way back. Skeet surfing? Skeet surfing, yeah.
No, it was funny because I ran into the garage and it went...
Cut behind it to the Germans. They make great cars. You just don't expect to get the Top Secret reference. It's a pretty obscure movie at this point. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple target locks here. And that's, honestly, Razzi's ability doesn't do a whole lot for John here. Because what are you reducing the agility of the decimator to? So it's other than giving you target locks, it doesn't do much for him. So reducing the base agility by 1 doesn't affect dice added for range, doesn't affect dice added for obstacles. So sort of negligible value here in this game. Checking range, you've got a range 2 shot from Chirnu. And it looks like momentarily Boykin is going to stress everyone. I'm not sure if he's got range 1 on Razzi, but he might. So, Logjam fires at that guy, and he changes one of those focus results to a crit, and he whiffs. So it's a crit into that guy. Damaged engine. The effect of damaged engine is?
All hard turns.
All hard turns are red, which is going to make things troublesome here in a second, because all those Marauders are about to get stressed. And so
It's a range 1 shot from Lax.
here goes. Looks like he's
3 shields off of Logjam.
so 2 hits and a crit onto Logjam. Was that a range 1 shot?
Yep.
So Razzi is at range 1 to Logjam. So Marjade's going to affect every one of John's ships. So this is Logjam is shooting at that sort of center Marauder, range 1. Looks like 3 hits. Maybe not red dice.
Currently, John's shooting back.
And he focuses that up and loses the shield off that guy. So now we have one Marauder in pretty bad shape and another with no shields. But they only carry one end into the fight, so it's not that big a deal. Another range 1 shot into Logjam, and he whiffs. And we're going to get a third range 1 shot into Logjam. 2 hits. So Logjam's through his shields and 1 into Hall. And now everybody stresses.
Now Mara J triggers and all 4. Sorry. Tony?
No, that's... So stress feast for John's guys, and one of those guys is also carrying the all your hard turns are red. So we got a maneuverability problem that's pretty significant for one of those guys. I think the damaged engine crit is on Toilet Paper Jones there, with a little flag sticking off the Marauder nearest the center of the game mat. So he's going to clear his stress. He's got a 1 bank. He's going to bump right there. So another 1 bank, another bump. Clears the stress. Now this is problematic since they're all touching here. If Oiken makes a maneuver that allows him to bump without moving forward, everybody's taking damage. So, and that's exactly what happened. He went 1 forward, didn't clear, so they all 3 take damage. So that was John has just realized what he did by allowing Oiken to bump without moving. After he bumped him, he triggered damage on all of his Marauders. Because that kicks in after Oiken's maneuver. So if Oiken maneuvers and bumps, doesn't move, everybody gets pinged. And not to mention here momentarily, the Marjade stress party will start again, and all of those ships will carry stress into the next round. And so here's Soehnlin. I think he's shooting at the beat up Marauder. 2 hits and a crit, and he rolls a couple eyeballs. And that will be that for 1 of those. So Johnny Toilet Paper is out of there. So for all you guys watching who didn't come out today, you definitely need to come out at the next one. Got a really nice setup here at Dream Wizards now. They've been really accommodating here for the video setup. Pretty nice way to set this up and get some good games on video. So I hope you guys will all come out to the next event here at Dream Wizards. It took me just about 35 minutes to get up here from Eastern Loudoun County, so especially on the weekends, pretty cake driving. It's just a few miles up 270. And so a good roll there. And a thrust control fire, which stresses, that's Soehnlin. Stresses Soehnlin. Had a good roll there from Razzi. Got 2 hits, 3 hits and a crit. That all went through, and good damage on Soehnlin. That's 1 hit, and it gets through. And here go both of our Marauders. It looks like they're going to have range 2 shots on Soehnlin. crit and it gets through. Gets structural damage to reduce his agility value by 1. So he is rolling dice because the tack jammer on Oiken treats him as an obstruction. So it's not. He's not rolling. Yeah, I did. So he pulled a pilot crit that gets completely disregarded by Chirnu due to determination. And now Chirnu's into hull, so if he doesn't, we should start seeing evade actions. More stress for everybody from Mara Jade. All those guys at range 1 again. Well, on the bright side, there's 1 fewer ship to get stress. So it's not as if John's not doing any damage here. They were just commenting over on the table. He has put 12 damage down on him, but now with the stress and the maneuverability issues and this huge stack of guys in front of him, he's in a real quandary. It's going to be a real challenge for him to get away from these guys. And now we've got sitting pat where they are isn't an option. So they're going to keep taking stress. They're going to keep getting damage from the bumps. Now we're going to have Chirnu with evades and a green die from the obstruction provided by tack jammer. It's just a real bad situation for where John's sitting right now. If you can get out of there, in a much better spot. John carefully weighing his options to see if he can't get out of this log jam that Kris has put him in. Okay, so a 3 bank from his first Marauder gets him clear of the jam with that guy. But he's got to carry stress. That's a white maneuver. So it doesn't do anything for him there. Looks like he's going to bump, but he's also going to get clear with this second guy. We're going to mark Oiken, get him out of there. So it looks like he's... It looks like he doesn't quite get through there, so he's still stacked up there. So Oiken's not moving. So again, a little clarification on the table. It's only after Oiken's maneuver that the damage is dealt for Oiken's ability. So Oiken just revealed a hard 2. He can't move, so he does deal damage to the Marauder that's still in contact with him. So Chirnu, green, bumps, takes the evade from Isan. Looks like we've got Chirnu shooting at the Marauder directly in front of Oiken that just took the damage. So 3 crits. He rolled a hit and 2 crits, and or 2 crits and an eyeball. So he takes 1 crit, and it's a direct hit. And so that kills the second Marauder. So that last roll from Chirnu was 2 crits and an eyeball. Chirnu's ability rolling, turning one of those, turning the rolled eyeball into a crit. So for 3 crits, John rolled 2 evades, took the crit, which was a direct hit, and that was all it took. And so he's... Who's he attacking? Who's he shooting at? Chirnu. Alright, so... forgot to pick up the target lock on the last turn, so there's no target lock left. Okay, so he rolled a hit and a crit, and the crit that went through is a direct hit. And that removes 3 more shields from Razzi, who I'm not quite sure what he's left with, but in not great shape generally. Go take a look. Okay, so looks like Razzi has 2 shields left. The Chirnu has It's like 4 or 5 damage in the hull. Oiken only has 1 in the hull. And that other Marauder has no shields, but is otherwise in pretty good shape. So our John's first Marauder. What's he gonna do here? Hard 2. So he's going to keep his stress. Oiken is moving a little bit, and that's going to damage Razzi again. Razzi's down to 1 shield. And it looks like Razzi goes nowhere again. And Soehnlin clears with that 2-bank. So he's still in a pretty good position. Those are sexy target locks. And he gets his Zon evade. So Soehnlin is at range 1 into Razzi. Rolls an eyeball, turns it into a crit. It's target lock, reroll. So it looks like 2 hits and so takes his whoa, whoa. So Razzi's taking the you can't do actions crit, and he's shooting back at Soehnlin out range 1.
This can take forever, 1 crit at a time. Major hold range. Starting the round after this, I receive all carbon damage points.
Okay, so Kris has just drawn a major hull breach, and what that crit does is it every turn after this he receives all his damage cards face up, but he can also take an action to flip that card over. I think we're trying to sort out whether or not Oiken's shot on that last Marauder is obstructed. It's not. 3 hits. 2 evades. So he takes 1 into hull. So that Marauder's got 3 left. And he's got to stress Razzi. Looks like we've been forgetting Rebel Captive. He just remembered. Kris just remembered he had Rebel Captive on Soehnlin. But yeah, not that big a deal, not that big an oversight, because the Mara Jade stress only applies if the ship isn't already carrying stress. So the ship that would have gotten stress from Rebel Captive wouldn't get stress from Mara Jade. So it's not that big a deal if you overlook that in this case. Piles are down. Here's his Marauder. And he's going to one bank and clear stress. And so Razzi takes more damage. Another 2-turn that Razzi can't get free of. So Razzi's pulled a 3 bank. So he is going to get out of that pickle. And here he is. So he's stressed. He is free of that mess. And there goes Chernu. Chernu's going to flip over Major Hull Breach so he doesn't take face up damage. Gets his free evade action from Isan. So 2 crits. And he's going to use his focus. He's going to take one of those. And it's a direct hit. So his Marauder there is down to 1 hull. And looks like Oiken's got an obstructed range 3-shot at that Marauder. So he does. He has an obstructed range 3-shot at the Marauder. Yep. And he will get 3 dice against 3 dice. So 2 hits. John's going to roll 3 dice. He only has 1 hull left. And that takes that last Marauder off the board. John's debating what he should be doing here. His options are somewhat limited. I think he's down just to a couple hull. Let me go take a look. Okay, so Razzi has the crit on the ship and another damage on his card, so he has 4 hull left on Razzi there. So Boykin will move first. And let's see what more attractive target locks from Kris.
Target locks.
Yeah, I do. They're good looking target locks. John is bitter because I don't have any more. It should be able to get some more soon. And John has decided to just overfly this rock to get away. And he clears the stress. But he overflies that rock. And he's going to have... He's going to roll a die for damage. Hey, that worked out. And Sheernew's coming around. Focus, evade. So we had that opening sort of train wreck. And 3 of John's ships didn't make it out of that. So that was a pretty effective pile-up that Kris initiated with Sheeran and Oiken there. And we're going again. There's a hard 3. And a focus from Oiken. Hard 3 from Razzi. He rolls and cancels that crit. And another 3 turn for Sheernew. He's going to focus. I think we have, again, no shooting.
She put a bunch of different colors in that basket.
And we're back to dials again. Oiken's dial's already down. And there's Sheernew's. John mulling over his options. And John's down, so let's see what Oiken does. And it's 3 straight. And a 1 bank from Razzi. Checking the range on a target lock. And he has it, so he's going to take a target lock. Nope, I guess he didn't. A little short, so he's going to focus. Sheernew's going to move a 1 straight. So John will be taking a range 2 shot from Sheernew here. Going to take it. Three crits. Again, he rolls 2 crits and an eyeball. He turns 1 into a crit, so it's 3 crits, and he whiffs completely and takes all 3. John's almost through his entire deck. If any one of these is a direct hit, game's over. And there it is. Second one was a direct hit, so that's that. And so, after 4 rounds of play, Kris Soehnlin's undefeated and finishes first in the Dream Wizards Toys for Tots benefit tournament. I thank you guys for joining me here on Twitch, and expect to see these up on YouTube shortly. So tell everybody to check those out. Those will be on Steel Enterprises. It's 2 words on YouTube, and I'll have those up later on this evening. So thanks for logging in, and I will see you guys next time.